Oh, jigfish. YouTube, what is up? Thanks for joining me, guys, for checking out the video. Back for a pretty unique little situation here. So we just had some severe thunderstorm warnings come through here, and it looked like we were just gonna get annihilated by a storm. Sprinkled a little bit, still looking like it's gonna rain. It's gonna hit us tomorrow, tonight at some point, but it held off. It didn't rain, and it looks like it might, stay this way for a little while. So I found myself in a nice picture-perfect pre-storm. It looks like it's gonna be cloudy skies for the rest of the evening. That's what you want, man. If you didn't know, clear blue skies, sunshine, calm water, those are the hardest conditions to fish in. A lot of people might not know that because, summertime, hot weather, so, a lot of people want to fish in the summer, but you get some of the hardest days to fish in the middle of the summer. But right now, we got the perfect recipe for, I'm not thinking some fish, I'm going after a big fish tonight if I can get it. So I got the power poles rigged up, man. I got, what do I got down there? Jig, buzzbait, got my Texas rig pole, got some big saw plastics, man. So I'm out here really just hunting for that big bite, because a lot of times bass can get really active like right before a storm. And so timing wise, man, it looks like I may be hitting this right. So we're gonna get out here. The rain might come, but like I said, surprisingly it's held off a little bit. So anyways, man, let's get out here and just take advantage of a little window and see what we can come up with. All right, it looks like it's just me and the Canadian geese. So I'm not gonna lie, whenever you pull up to the water, man, and it's just you, that's a good feeling. Don't get me wrong, I like seeing other people fish, especially if it's like a father-son type thing, which you see that out here. Always cool to see that. But man, when you pull up and you got the spot to yourself, that is a beautiful thing. First cast with the Texas rig. First cast, I got a Missile D-bomb on here. That's what's up. Little guy, but on the board, first fish always feels a little bit better. Thanks, buddy. Hey, after a long day at work, man, thank you for coming through and making the day a little bit better for me. There's that Missile D-bomb. I've really fallen for these baits for jig trailers or Texas rig. I almost went black and blue, but I don't even remember what this color's called. Kentucky Craw, maybe? It's blue on one side and then green pumpkin on the other. Just a really good looking bait. Also, too, a couple new things with this setup. So I am I'm throwing this as my Texas rig setup right now. It's a 7.2 medium heavy, and I just picked up some 16-pound fluorocarbon. It's a Sunline Super, pretty inexpensive, and I'm going with a 3/0 extra wide gap heavy duty hook. It's a 6 cents hook. I just picked up some of these today, and yeah, see how it goes. Man, second or third cast over here on that D-bomb again. A little bit nicer too. All right, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy so far with the results. I am loving this fluorocarbon, man. This super Sunline fluorocarbon is 16 pounds. Super smooth, I gotta say. And also too, that little bit thicker of a hook. So far I'm 2 for 2 with hook sets, because I've been having some issues this summer with my hook sets, and I think it's 100% been due to me and just not having the my setups right. So far so good. So I think the main reason why I really like this bait, particular the D-bomb, it's a creature bait by definition, but I think this is like your closest creature bait to a bluegill, in my opinion. And a lot of times these small ponds, bluegill is by far the main forage. Like, I don't even think there's shad in here. There's obviously bait fish and probably minnows, but bluegill all day long, walking up and down the bank is all you see here. So the D-bomb is a excellent choice in my opinion if you live on or fish in places that bluegill is like the main forage. You can't go wrong with picking these baits up. So when your soft plastics get ripped up like this, man, don't just toss them in the can. Since I caught a couple on this on the Texas rig, I'm gonna go ahead and just I got my jig set up out here as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and thread this guy right up on there for that jig trailer now. Boom, ready to go. Oh, jig fish. Yes, sir. This is why I have one pole laying down there with a Texas rig tied on, and then I got one pole with a jig tied on. That is what I'm talking about. That is a big fish, guys. Woo! Man, I am an idiot and I don't have my scale, and I even brought my backpack, but that is man, that's pushing 4 pounds. That's a heavy fish. That might be 4. Whew, man. So I just mentioned in that last clip, we were talking about that buzzbait and how I just got bit right there. This very well could have been that fish, man, because it was a big blow up. So I decided to pick the jig up, and I really just pitched it right in that same spot, man, where that I got the hit on that buzzbait, and there you go. Whew. All right, I'm gonna get a picture real quick and oh man, this will never get old. Never get old. Nice healthy looking fish right here. Man, sometimes it's hard to put the big ones back quick. You just want to admire them, hold them. Man, that's a heavy fish too. Man, I wish I had my scale, but that's every bit of 4 pounds, maybe 4 and some change. What a donkey. All right, buddy. All right, so here's a little bit closer of a look at the jig I was using. This is like a bluegill colored skirt, which I trimmed really way down. It's pretty short. And like you guys saw earlier in the video, I put that D-bomb trailer on whenever it got chewed up a little bit from those 2 fish. And this is a Terminator jig. So you guys have all those lures sitting around your garage, your tackle box, that they just kind of are there and you haven't picked them up for a while. This wasn't even in my jig box, okay? And it was just sitting on my shelf in the garage, and I picked it up and I was like, you know what, this thing looks good, let me give it a go. And plus the Terminator jigs, they have these like pointed heads, and I don't think it's not a swim jig. I think that's just how a lot of their pitching jigs are. But as a result, you know, this place is pretty grassy. This thing is coming through the grass like really nice, and this is a 3/8 ounce jig. So a lot of times in the past I have trouble throwing 3/8 ounce jigs out here, but this one got it done, man. So yo, I still got some time, and I mentioned in the intro how this was like the recipe for a big fish, man. So that felt really good for that just to line up like that and happen. All right, it looks like I'm finally getting rained out. The rain is finally starting to come down. It's getting pretty dark. The thunder's out here just booming, and I've been on the edge of this storm though all evening, and it's been a beautiful thing. Like I mentioned in the intro of the video, this was just the recipe for a nice fish. It's not the first time I've caught a nice fish like right before it started storming. There's something about that in the weather that just gets the bass fired up. They want to feed. And what can I say about the jig, man? It strikes again. Unreal. I was throwing that soft plastic all around that area, made multiple casts, not a bite. First cast with that jig, the rest is history. You saw what happened. And I threw that buzzbait in there, man, and I really think that could have been him that hit the buzzbait, because I pitched that jig right in that same spot where I got that blow up on that buzzbait, and yeah, 4-pounder. The jig has just been, it's been incredible, man. You just keep it locked in your hands. If you're not confident, that's the only way that it's gonna happen. But it's just been a big fish producer, man. It really, they really do get big bites. And yeah, it's gonna be a jig by my side and like dedicated jig pole from this point out for sure. Also too, wanted to highlight the new line that I was rolling with tonight, that Sunline Super, or Super Sunline, whichever way you say it. 16 pounds, performed excellent. It was super smooth on the cat. I love how it casted. I had it actually rigged up on 2 poles and handled that fish really nice. So my first experience and impression with that, man, very, very nice. I'm kind of going back and forth right now between like 16 and 20 pound test on my jig and my Texas rig pole. But yeah, tonight, man, I was really digging that line. So yeah, man, good stuff. Always nice to catch a bass, especially in the summer. Right now we're in the thick of the heat. Today was like 90, because it tends to get tougher in the summertime, man. Fish become more lethargic, but it's still the summer, man. They're still in their feeding patterns, and they're still gonna eat. So get out there, man, get after them. Can't catch them on the couch. And you guys take care out there, and I'll see you all in the next one.